welcome Atlanta Hawks forward Josh Smith.
Came in the game at 18, so I was definitely young. I didn't know what was at stake. I didn't know what was going on, and I think I definitely got older and just a better understanding of the game. I think nothing really much has changed as a person. I'm still the old Josh from back in the day. What motivates me is just me wanting to get better in my kids. I have 2 kids and they're my heart. So when times get hard, I look at them and they always put a smile on my face. So every time I step out on the court, it's for them. I was blessed with it. I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to block shots, and it's all about timing. You know, you have to be able to make sure you're patient on a pump fake or anything like that. I was blessed with the opportunity to block shots, but it took me time to really study the art of blocking the shot. Though. I want to accomplish a lot. I mean, definitely made the postseason 3 years. You know, I want to go deeper. I want to go to the finals and get the opportunity to win the ring. And I think that with the team that we have, we can do it. We just have to work hard at it, and I'm doing my part in the off season and working on my all-around game to get better, to be able to be a better teammate and to be able to help my team out. You definitely have to follow your dream. If whatever dream it is, if it's basketball, or football, soccer, baseball, anything, you have to be dedicated and you have to work hard at your craft. It won't mean anything unless you're doing right in the classroom. You have to definitely have good grades. It's not cool to have F's and D's and just barely pass it. School really matters. School really matters, and it's no going out of high school no more. Guys have to go to school, and it's really serious. So it makes that much important for guys to be able to study on it, get in their books, and be able to pass the ACT or the SAT and get in school. What's going on? This is Josh Smith of the Atlanta Hawks. Thanks for watching Stack TV.
My motto is I'm gonna do what got me here. You know, I'm gonna stay consistent, just work. You know, not really listen to what anybody says. When I was in the draft, you know, it was kind of hard because you have reporters come up to me like saying, you know, I remember one reporter came up to me and said, you know, the Washington Wizards have the 30th pick. What do you think about that? You know, like I guess he's saying it like, you know, and he wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but you know, I'm like, you know. That's good. That's great. You know, reporters would say stuff like, you know, they say you're gonna be a 2nd round pick. What do you think of that? You know, that's fine. I know they didn't know what went on in the gym. They don't know. You know, they don't know what happens behind those doors. When I'm, you know, locked on that court with somebody else from, you know, Duke or another school, and you know how I'm going at them. They don't see that. So, I mean, I know that. I understand that. So what people say never really bother me. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna keep going. You know, someone says, you know, he shouldn't have been this, he should have been that. You know, he wasn't a good pick. He was a good pick. I just won't listen to it. I'm just gonna keep working hard and you know, try to be better. A lot of focus, man. A lot of hard work. If I'm gonna be working out for 2 hours, it's gonna be a hard 2 hours. I mean, because in my mind, I have, you know, 22 hours to. If I'm tired, I got 22 hours of sleep. Basically. If I'm in there for 3 hours, those are gonna be the hardest 3 hours of my day. You know, and that's how I'm gonna push myself until I'm tired. I'm gonna try to be the first one there and the last one to leave. It does something for your mental, for your mind, for your mindset when you're the last one to walk off that court. People don't understand that. They think it's cliche and, you know, oh, you know, last one to leave. You know, that's just something the coaches say. But it does something for your mental, your mindset. And when you get on the court with with players and you see them fatigued and they're on their knees and they're bending down, and you're like, and you're tired too, you're thinking, you know, I'm gonna be the last one standing. You know, I'm gonna be the last one to walk off this court. And that's kind of what it does for me. So that's one of my things. I like to be the last one to leave, definitely. It's a marathon, you know, it's not a sprint. You know, it takes hard work, but you know, you're not gonna be able to get everything you want right now. It takes time. Just keep pushing, you know, stay positive, things like that. Because it's easy to get discouraged, especially at a young age, you know, high school kids, college kids. You know, I'm basically a college kid, but it's easy to get discouraged and distracted. You know, just try to stay focused and stay positive, and you know, things usually work out in your favor.
I think the core is really important for us. Obviously, you know, with their shooting, you know, defensive, we're always, you know, keeping the core tight, and I think it allows you to, you know, stay in a defensive stance a lot longer. Allows you to, you know, keep, you know, your body low to the ground for longer periods of time. So we do it for explosion. Obviously, you want a nice six-pack, but really just to keep that core as tight as possible. You need a decline bench. Obviously, you want to start in an upright position, and as he's throwing you the ball, you want to catch it first and then go back into your set-up position, and then you want to fire it back as hard as you can coming up into the set position. We do 10 high catches, which means he throws it above your head to keep a nice stretch out, and then we do 10s to the chest, which are a little bit more quick, a little quicker repetition, but really gets a lot of explosion. For me, performing the TRX push-up kind of builds upper body strength for me. You know, when I'm in the game, I take a lot of, you know, punishment up top. I like to create a lot of contact, so I need to keep my upper body, especially my shoulders, you know, big and strong. We use the straps over here. You know, you put both palms in, face down. You want to make sure you keep your back nice and flat. And as you go down to chest level, you know, it's almost like a push-up on the ground. So you want to go down nice and tight, keep your body nice and flat, and then explode up, you know, as much as you can. We keep it moving, you know, throughout the circuit. But you know, we start with this one, you know, sets of 8, and then we move on to the next one. We do rounds of 2. Inverted row is kind of like the opposite of the push-up. Obviously, shoulders, you know, explosion, you know, a lot of the core work, you know, you gotta keep the core nice and tight, and that's a lot to do with what we're doing as far as the fast movement and side-to-side movement that we go through in the basketball world. I start laying on the floor flat. I reach up and grab the handles, and like I said, you keep your back nice and tight. You want to take your hips up along when pulling up, and keep it nice and flat, and you know, keep your core nice and tucked in. We do sets of 8, and it's a circuit, so we do 2 sets throughout the circuit.
I'm Coach Ryan Tremblay, and today's basketball tip, we're going to go over the famous quote, defense wins championships. To me, defense wins championships is the most famous and important quote in the history of basketball, as well as all sports. It is not a coincidence that pretty much every NBA and college basketball champion, for as far back as I can remember, had one of the best defenses, if not the best. If the champions did not have the best defense during the regular season, I would bet they certainly were playing the best defense through the playoffs and championship. There is no record of whom or when the quote, defense wins championships, was first said. I think that really suits this quote and idea best, if it is true that no one knows who said it first and when. The reason why I feel this way is because sports as a whole can get the credit for this understanding, which means it goes as far back as when sports began. It is amazing that for hundreds of years, the saying defense wins championships is true now as it always was. The greatest basketball players of all time understand that defense is what wins games, and most of them had a defensive mentality. A basketball player that has a defensive mentality prides himself or herself on being a great defender and shutting down whoever they are guarding in the game. Basketball players that understand defense wins championships are usually the ones that work the hardest in practice, have mental toughness, and energize the team with enthusiasm and hustle. Players that pride themselves on being great defenders are usually doing it for their team and are willing to sacrifice their bodies by diving on the floor for loose balls, rebounding, and coming up with steals. You can start to become a great defender and better basketball player today by simply understanding that defense wins championships. You can also practice the following habits throughout your basketball experience to make sure your new understanding translates into action on the court. Go into every game telling yourself and teammates that you're going to do your best to shut down your opponents. When your coach takes the time to go over defense in practice, make sure you give 100% towards effort and paying attention. Be a good teammate and help the other players on your team by playing team defense and encourage them when they make a good defensive play. And make sure you celebrate a little extra when your team wins a championship because you know it was because of your team's defense. Now that you understand how important defense is to becoming a successful basketball player, it is just a matter of keeping it in your mind at all times. You should always remember that for hundreds of years in the past and hundreds of years in the future, it will always be true that defense wins championships.
We're going to work on cutting, backdoor cutting. So you're going to run up to the cone, jump stop. You could fake out here and make a cut. The wing is going to make an entry pass, which we'll talk about in a second. But the cut's going to be like this. I want you to go hard on the cut. So it's jump stop and up. Jump stop, under control. Watch it again. Watch the entry pass Coach Stewart's doing. He's wrapping around. Cut. Jump stop, strong. We got to make our layups. Don't watch that part. All right? Don't watch that part. And now the entry pass. Watch the entry pass again. Jump stop, strong. And up. We're going to talk about key terms in a second. First, I just want to show you it. Okay, so it's hesitate, cross, bang. Hesitate, cross, boom. So what are some of the things we talked about last week when you're on offense? When we talk about, I won't give you any more hints. Let's see if you remember. Hesitate. Mental toughness works for everything, I know. Crossover below the knees. Your crossover should be tight and low. And when we talk about physical toughness, okay? Changing speeds. That's the key to beating someone off the dribble. Your whole offense should be changing speed. It shouldn't be one speed. The crossover shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be a full speed. That's not a crossover. If you watch me cross over, I'm going to do 3 different speeds. I'm going to dribble up hard, hesitate, and explode. So dribble up, hesitate, explode. And what am I attacking? Nope. What part of the body am I attacking on the defender? What? Close, a little bit to the side. Hip. Your shoulder should go right at his hip, so he has to turn. Alright, so listen. I want one cross, right to left, right about half court. Dribble up, hesitate, hesitate, cross hard, and beat him off the dribble. and then we're going to do left to right on the way back. Hold the balls. Let's go. We're talking about discipline here and paying attention. Right? Discipline and paying attention. On the whistle, crossover right to left. All right, everybody, let's just go through the terms real quick. I want you guys to tell me some defensive terms before we move on. Yeah, everyone at half court. Let's go. Defensive terms before we move on. Okay, we're going to do a quick quiz, then we're going to move on to some ball handling. All right, let's do defense first.
Stay low.
Stay low.
Mental toughness.
Mental toughness.
Arch your back.
Arch your back.
Save the balls on your feet.
Balls of your feet. Slap the ground.
One hand high, one hand low.
One hand high, one hand low.
Physical toughness.
Physical toughness.
That was dribbler.
Turn the dribbler. Good. Shuffle your feet. Head on the ball. Good. Don't cross your feet. More?
Turn the dribbler.
Turn the dribbler.
Look at his belly button.
Look at his belly button. I think we got all of them, right?
Smack the ground.
Smack the ground. Make him pick up the dribble. All right, now listen. Okay, that was good. You got all of them. Now, from the beginning, we talked about what makes up a great player. What's the most common quality in a great basketball player?
Practice whenever you can.
Practice whenever you can. That's what it is. Practice whenever you can. But we're going to elaborate a little bit on it. Work hard.
Have a good work ethic.
Have a good work ethic.
What's an ethic?
Okay, now listen. Making the right decision, all right? There's no excuse for it. You guys were all born with the ability to make the right decision, which you did today by coming here. And you're going to get a lot out of it. All right? So this is what we're going to do. Bring it in. We're going to go defense on 3. But hold on. Everyone's going to grab a ball. Twos are going to go on that side, and one's on this side, and we're going to do some ball handling, okay? On 3, defense. 1, 2, 3, defense!
I'm Coach Ryan Tremblay, and I want to welcome you to my latest basketball tip. Today we're going to talk about what it means to be defensive-minded and why I feel it's the most important part to becoming a great basketball player. I believe that defense is the most important part of becoming a great basketball player. I also believe that becoming a great defensive player takes as much work on the mental aspect of it as the physical. Defense is an attitude and a mental decision to work hard. The best term to explain the state of mind a basketball player should have when trying to become a great player is defensive-minded. A defensive-minded basketball player prides him or herself on defense and all the intangibles of the game. Basketball players that focus on being the best defensive player on the court are the best players to coach and the best teammates to have. Defensive-minded basketball players sacrifice themselves for the team and usually are emotional and vocal leaders. Here are some of the qualities of a defensive-minded basketball player. Has mental toughness, knows how to be a good teammate, believes that defense wins championships, understands that there is no I in team, always has a positive mental attitude, and has a relentless work ethic. The greatest basketball players of all time are defensive-minded and pride themselves on the defensive side of the ball. Even though a lot of great players were known for their offensive statistics, they would be the first to tell you that it was their defense that made them great. The greatest defensive player of all time to me was also the greatest offensive player we have ever seen, and that is Michael Jordan. Maybe you don't know this about Michael Jordan because all you see is his offensive statistics and dunks. Michael Jordan became a defensive-minded player before he won his 6 championships. You also may not know that Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA, along with several MVPs. To me, the thing that sets Michael Jordan apart from other great defenders is what players say when they look him in the eye. NBA players have said that they purposely try not to look Jordan in the eye when they are playing him because he takes it personal and uses it as an edge against his opponent. He uses this to help him raise his intensity to a level that no one can match. This is the ultimate example of a defensive-minded basketball player, as he's constantly looking for ways to outmatch his opponent on a mental level. Michael Jordan always wants to guard the other team's best player because he knows that his great defensive play will always translate into great offense for him. Michael Jordan is a great defensive player because he has the tough attitude it takes to be one. I hope that you now understand that if you want to be a great basketball player, you must be a great defender. I also hope that you understand that defense is an attitude that you can develop starting right now by becoming a defensive-minded basketball player who focuses on working hard on the defensive side of the ball.